Vanuatu is a South Pacific island nation where traditional values are highly honored but increasingly threatened. Much of the population relies on plants and the environment for food, housing, clothing, and medicines. But in many areas, people are confronted with a transition to a Western-style, cash-based economy. Unsustainable land management, climate change, and the loss of traditional relationships to the natural world are contributing to an erosion of the rich Melanesian biocultural heritage. With these changes, loss of habitats and plant knowledge is accelerating. To address these problems, the Plants Mo People Blong Vanuatu project seeks to preserve biocultural knowledge by helping communities keep their knowledge in practice, and works to discover, document, and conserve the plant diversity and plant-based traditional knowledge of Vanuatu, a globally important biodiversity hotspot. This project empowers local people to conserve and use their own biological and cultural heritage to improve their quality of life in a resilient and sustainable way in the face of rapid global change.
I'm one of the researchers here on the Plants Mo People project to help document the plants of Vanuatu, their uses, and is also their indigenous language names. And the project really started from my early experiences in Vanuatu dating back to 2003. I came on a 3-week expedition to look at plants in Tana, in Efate, and in Santo. And right from the beginning, I knew this was a special place in terms of not only the plant diversity, but also the diversity of languages and the amazing culture that was preserved here. And in 2006, I was lucky enough to participate in the Santo 2006 expedition. It was a much longer expedition. We spent over a month in Santo, and then I came down on my own to Tafeo province, and that's really when I started learning how Tafeo was such a rich place culturally and where the traditional practices were maintained. And so when I moved to New York, I started talking to my colleague Michael Balick, and we discussed opportunities for working together in the Pacific. And so we decided to try to come to Vanuatu to begin this project.
Lo starting blo lo fela blo custom sing blo yumilo island blo yumilo tana olol fela oli piritarem lo one spirit blo all kata we I ka maut lo man I blo spirit I blo lo pampu now oli garam sound blehem oli garam oli sing lehem oli kam now ye okata oli sing lehem okata ka chaman blo sing chaman blo make him something the old man we oli responsible lo sing oli garam sing line block at that, or you got him sing low, Pambuyana.
The New York Botanical Garden has a Pacific Island program of which Plants and People of Vanuatu is a part, Plants Mo People Blong Vanuatu. And our goals are to study the Pacific Island flora, especially in places where the flora is not known, the plant species are not known, there's no list, so we make inventories. Another objective is to study the way in which people use the plants traditionally as well as today, and that's the production of ethnobotanical books and community manuals so that people will remember the knowledge and keep it in practice, so that it can serve future generations in order to improve livelihoods, resilience to change, and sustainability. And the third question or activity that we undertake is to look at how plants can improve primary health care, for example, nutrition, and other ways that knowledge of plants and use of plants can improve people's health and livelihood and quality of life. And then when we know those things, we try to work with local communities to identify conservation areas, because the forest is very important to not only the people of Vanuatu but to people of the world. In fact, we say forests equal life, which is a very short way of saying that our lives, our livelihoods, our happiness, our health all depend on having an intact forest.
Forest to me play one very important role in livelihood, play me all people blow Vanuatu. And also blow sustain them. You mean blow how you must have go about how you must have look out them all resources where you make lo Vanuatu. So what them projects we make them inside lo you mean lo Vanuatu, me plants and people blow aware. And me actually play one very important role blow make sure say all forest play you mean look out them, you mean protect them. The one way where you may not have a cause all destructions plan, and also you may protect them the way where all benefits plan, all picking me, all next generations will come behind, but let's have a cut access to him. So you may look him full of something finish where all communities, all people only enjoy resources where he stop side the forest. So project can make up inside, we make sure say understanding blow resources and become clear to all people. People only understand that relationship, linkages we have stop within custom and culture and people. And time where you look lo holistic approach, you become lo find out say people, but you not go without environment.
Inside Lopus, I one Pipol University. Stop inside Lopus, you talk lo nature, hemi give him you save, hemi direct him you, lo way we hemi give him flower, lo way we hemi make him fruit lehem, and everything, only insect too, only give him you direction lo life for you. Inside they got university, inside too lo forest they got hospital, it got hardware, it got you have a name. They got supermarket. Supermarket, means say you go and up lopus, you make them current for you. Every something where you want them plan them. According to season for him, and harvesting according to season for him, you carry me come. That's supermarket. Time when we tell them say hospital, hemi hold him every medicine for you. You have go on top there, you can buy all fruit, you can buy all leaf, you can buy all roots, you can buy all fruit way young. Hemi now hemi hospital for you. And time when we tell them say, boma hardware, you go you carry timber for you and top here, rope, lo make them house, leaf, lo make them house. Hemi now hemi hardware.
Most recently, we had this discussion with Jean Pascal about a cultural school. It was really his idea. He said it would really be great to teach the young people the information that was being slowly but surely lost.
Ting blo mistatam cultural school ya, hemi one long time vision. Blo mi since we mistato lo Vanuatu Cultural Center, and then only transfer me kam lo Tafia Cultural Center. Hemi about 10 years now, from now, where me feel stop work no more. Me feel stop making some collection lo Tafia Cultural Center. Make manara something, pe ting me stop strong say. Also one them. Suppose one them me feel stop trying to talk about them, and then by play trying to do into practical. Make them say ting is me try and find them some for a friend, or somehow me have a host them one cultural school. Make them say me come lo community. Lo say me one healthy community. Me one community. Me yetu koi community. Me one community where work lo kata ikutu mas custom governance lo kata me ikut. Only work follow all custom principle make him se mika ting ting plus kemo kata se misa ve host first edition long Sakrao Custom School. So Sakrao Custom School hemi minim na mo lo dialect lo nafe hemi mean se plo yumi or yumi tu hemi no Sakrao means se plo yumi.
Mimi kam lo site lo Pambu. Lan isplo plesia oli kolon terena. Bilan mo liang pala. Pambu usem before lo abu plo mi pala oli stop usem before liang pala oli stop make him play or same way you look him all stop make him lo play sa ako after Genesis stop come spirit I karan terena uya now I blue him I come out lo nakamal I look all man all stop play lo all play all same after blue lo terena we come out I karam sound lo custom sing come out after only come join with him and they make him custom dance. As you do, all custom dance here now is supposed to walk about around Lotana, you look all Montana, all start making dance like. So, spirit hemi Caribbean.
Yeah, from
daily livelihoods for people inside the communities only depend entirely on resources where we stop inside the forest. So forest we sustain them life for people, even the side the water, the air, or the kakai. So all professions for forest where we give them the yumi all people we should appreciate them in a way. We must look out them, we must protect them. So what the intention blow yumi save kat one cultural schools where we stop lo place here, place yumi. We come in we save educate them. We come in, we reshape him, we align him, or we train him. You how now you must look ahead, or look beyond. You must look out him, you must manage him, you must harmonize him. All contributions for forest, for culture, or you may value inside the society. Where you must help him life. You may not go without environment. You may not go without culture. He may interrelated. Lo make him say you may value him, you may cherish him, you may live him, him become part of livelihood. So overall, look for him. You may stop come witness him day to day. People only happy, only delighted, only appreciate them. From him part of life. He may come enrich him life. Look beyond. Probably have continue blow encourage him all beginning blogger probably have got interest in order blow minimize him all problems blow technologies when we come inside the day when we cause them people impact inside the communities blow me all understanding all knowledge blow all environment all custom or culture I may lose but they be good when we come up with them all initiative similar blow me have help them all young people especially blow like think blow have revive them or look back blow how now let's have help them life blow with them all values all knowledge all survey all customs when we start blow me have continue blow me have build up blow come all very valuable people inside the one society blow let's have manage them or let's have look out them all resources will look at the place blow so with them all thinking forestry department him stand up blow one vision blow him blow me make sure say forest and people or forests throughout the nation of Vanuatu, we must sustainably manage in a way whereby all benefits by people will have continue to enjoy time na more time whereby we come.
Thinking behind starting of one cultural school, mi no go into cultural school straight away. Mi must reforestation or plant back all trees back again. Mi must should preserve them. Some tree especially, make them house from cyclone after cyclone. Mi looks say mi is that short all tree now. Make him say time all group or lipin come what mi vela lo place ya. Mi vela bin go through lo project ya. Mo mi vela go I finsem. Mi no finsem good pe mi vela enlarge project ya. I go as far as anaichim. I kasem all place all sem futuna. Some vela place lo ero even round lo tana little bit. And time when mi vela finish with him something mi vela look say I got impact lo hem. Time mi vela bin look impact lo hem. Ting blo mi vela ting say I could blo mi vela should come back again. Come back again blo mi vela I should start one cultural school or place here. And cultural school especially blo help them all pikinani blo mi vela from where time mi vela look say close up blo future to come. Mi vela look all same say bampai close up all pikinani blo mi vela while you lose plant something. One for example mi vela think about blo educate mol kada long all language blo mi vela. From plante pikinani time oli tok today, oli tok lo language where you hear him some sound lo language I got maybe English lo hem, or maybe you hear him say I got Bislama lo hem, or same language pa I misave call him say me half caste language. But then after all, mi vela think say, okay, look, mi vela go through lo come out lo hem one clear place, mi vela think say I could mi vela start one educational culture. Lo place now mi vela teach him all pikinani blo mi vela. Lo how all bubu blo before all car blo before all been kamantap lo with them housing blo kata living blo kata mi vela no want them to step more youngsters lo only want them leave lo westernization maybe or something where that come but mi vela want them teach more kata hopefully blo may all must come back lo how all bubu blo before all been stop lo.
So the idea of the custom school was to bring people together from different parts, in this case in South Tana, primarily in the Nafe language, and to discuss the connections between preserving their culture and the plants that they need to preserve that culture from their forests. And so the custom house that's right behind me is a perfect example of that. You can't make this custom house with just the plants that grow around the village. You have to go into the forest because there are certain species that are only found in primary pristine forests. And so it's really a shining example of not only our project and the custom school, but the whole idea about trying to preserve plants, people, and their custom.
So maybe just one last question. Today you've seen
And one of our aim is that you go out to your community and see whatever is whatever your community is losing. Example, the languages, the ways you do your gardening, the ways you build the houses, and the ways you look after your marine life. And then from there you have to focus on which one you want to revive back to your community. And one of the most important one is our custom school, because that's where you can train up the young people and teach them where they are and teach them the two differences of the development. As I have already mentioned, that there are two kinds of development. One is from the land itself, and the other one is being washed ashore by the rough sea. So the custom school is very important because our old people are dying very rapidly, and we have to grab them and encourage them to pass on the knowledges to our young people so that they know who they are and they know where they belong to. And at the same time, we teach them to respect our nature, to respect our own people as well.
Nekawok, nekawe yaramara. Nemwe yaramara o yarmanu. Yinramom num nekawok.
Kafe mi o sempai dan se mi blocking. Lan wis mi vele kolem yarman. Kafa play memia. After play season the second season. After lo woman means you make him also me start talk about last time say the woman is start make him rot. Also lokasi say you miss fast some tight relationship between you mommy lo tropian. Lo lanuis na fe le golem tapunga. Pikinini we kafa plememia pa ihang lo rus plem isa pihai after Yermanu blo nakamal isa karam kafa ya ol semia lo right hand blem after isa word pikinini isa hang lo blese tu la kam pa isa wajon se all ceremony we start 3 or 4 5 ceremony lo nakamalia which one ample or who who by watch him samiano koko last one by everyone all isakam ikwantap hemio we I folum rotia by lulu kolsem hemio we folum rotia by lulu kolsem hemio by folum rotia by lulu kolsem.
Right, there's so many environmental cues that the forest has. So we've seen what are sometimes called calendar plants. So in the forest yesterday when we were collecting, we saw a plant that we call scientifically Hedycaria darstenioides. And when that plant is making its ripe fruits, which are dark purple or black, then the people in the village know it's time to harvest the water taro. And there are many other plants in the forest that are signals for what people should be doing in their gardens. So those we refer to as calendar plants. In other places we've seen plants that are used as message plants. So for example, a certain tribe might use one species of plant, they lay it at the doorstep of somebody, then they go run away, and they wait till the person to come out and see the message plant, and they know, oh, somebody's looking for me to give a message. So there are ways of communications that are plant-based. And these are things that we don't have in our culture, or maybe we had a long time ago and lost them. And they're still alive and living here in Vanuatu. And it's something that's absolutely worth preserving. And as Vanuatu takes its place among the nations of the world, it wants to be able to distinguish itself. It doesn't want to be another US or another China or another Japan. It wants to be Vanuatu. And the only way it can do that is to preserve these traditional practices. And the custom school is a good way to help do that.
Thank you, Lord, for everyone. Thank you, Lord. Kakai, where you for take me come, Lord, prepare him. Kakai, hemi want something, or hemi got spirit. Hemi got power, Lord, life, Lord, you me. Lord, home, Lord, you me. You always got kakai, Lord, kitchen. Lord, current, Lord, you me, must cut kakai. And few days ago, you me been talk about respect. The respect ya, emi start lo home, you walk about le hemi ko lo current lo you. As you start put him, kakai lo you lo crown, you must show respect le him. Suppose you not show respect lo pleasure in return, bambai you look say him too, but you no respect him you. And mama you miss have a good set time where one baby start lo form inside lo bell lo you within that 2 weeks where baby start lo form. Kakai now hemi, make hemi crop, and mama it sends him kakai plehem. From hemi mas kakai right kakai, plo make him say baby pa hemi grow strong, mo hemi grow healthy. So, mama kakai hemi very very important, hemi part lo life lo you mommy. In a sense, without kakai, you me do nothing. Kakai hemi give him you me energy, kakai hemi give him you me growth, kakai hemi make him you me strong, more too kakai hemi medicine. Time when you kakai, some kakai, all apu, all is the balance some good tight floor keta. Time hemi kakai, one kakai, plant the time he haram say, affect them body blow hemi heavy, bell hemi no good, buy his sweet coffee kakai nar something. Or leaf, all fruit, it go with them kakai when you miss the plant him, only complete him. Want something where hemi strong, lo life lo you me more hemi important, more hemi got value lo hem. You me stop planum kakai lo full up sense something. You me planum kakai lo you me kakai, you me planum kakai lo all ceremonies lo you me. Mo you me got season lo every kakai. Got every kakai ikolo crown be ikat all season lo hem. You know sabe, put them that day tomorrow you go harvest them. No. Hemi got limitation for him. Also, when earlier talk lo me tell him finish land people and food. Trival something yeah, only got all rules and laws and structure where only live, walk about him. And you mean now, all man you mean stop handle them or something yeah. You mean been talk about development. You got two kind development. One where salt water you stop washing become so. Another one where Land hemi karem mo stop giving lo yumi. Where yumi life lo every day. Kakai hemi stop make him. You strong kakai hemi stop make him. He stop complete him. Life lo you lo custom. You know sabe perform one custom you karem puluk mo piki kam without kakai. Now kakai hemi stop complete him. Every ceremony lo yumi lo make him stay hemi heavy. He never got on something where you stop perform one big for a custom ceremony. And then man he comes stand up, he look, you decorate them good with them all basket, all mat, more all narak, all cover and feed without kakai. You know, from kakai, hemi part, every something lo life. Me one feel walk away, me like him too much work for me. And me never spell. Stop go through all community. Lo encourage small mama lo come out lo aspire lo keta mo take him good fella save traditional save lo keta kami fella I share and then me fella give him lo all young fella lo me fella. And starting lo walk about lo me been hard. We been facing full of challenge. Custom lo mi fala lotana woman e mi no loud lo talk. Hemya mi face and pick one. But he got way out lo everything. Mi use some family plo mi use some husband plo mi plo hemi save straight and road plo mi lo nakamal we mi save talk about all something ya. And time when mi stop go through all something ya. Husband plo mi hemi make me possible plo mi save talk lo nakamal. Chief hemi give him right mi talk lo all keta. And me no surprise. Lo look say one way me been make him. Every woman will he pass lo teaching lo mi fala all feel worker all he come and tap pick one. All he stop encourage all young fala do. We think he come and tap kakai come and tap all kada tu now only take him up walk all he start lo preach me ko lo all young fala mama lo mi fala. And all man too all he start lo take him sabe we all man only should pass me ko all young fella boy only stop pass me ko. Me fella must revive him back full of something, revive him back all wall blow house, revive him back weaving, lo bamboo, either lo bamboo or lo coconut leaf or lo pandanus. He got full up yet his stuff. From all fella, lo me fella only been walk about los stages. Only walk about los stages and on material only been using, he been stop too lo all stages.
Forests provide water, forests provide food, forests provide shelter. The cyclone house that the community built this week was all from forest products. Forests provide lessons for life. Walking through the forest, you can not help but feel humble about how diverse the animals, the plants, the quality of the air, and just the feeling you get when walking through the forest. Unfortunately, so many people who live in urban areas around the world suffer from something we call nature deficit disorder. It's actually a lack of interaction with nature, with forests, with oceans, with lands and seas, and the creatures that live within them. And we think, and we're sure, that by keeping forests intact, not only around the Pacific, but around the world, this will help future generations.
So, all kakaya, only healthy. All kakaya, you meet, you plan them, you process them, you make kakay. But you where you start kakay, one kakay, where you no sabe where I come, where now only process them, you don't need to you kakay. From you no sabe no, you start kakay. But you could play you kakay, where you yet you plan them, you yet you clean them, you yet go assemble you pray them, and then you put them, you cook them, you kakay. And then all kakay will stand on the table.
I think I have two impressions. The first impression is the people of Vanuatu are remarkably knowledgeable about so many different things. They can build a house, they can cook food, they can go out into the forest and hunt, they can go out into the ocean and fish. You know, where I come from in the United States, people are very specialized. They only know how to do one or two things. If we need a house built, we have to go get somebody, hire them, pay money. But here, the people know how to do those things themselves. And yet, we see the beginnings of that specialization happening in Vanuatu. And so what the custom school helped to demonstrate was that people can start teaching each other the kinds of skills that their fathers and grandfathers and grandmothers knew, and preserve it, and not lose it, and be able to transmit it to their children and their grandchildren.
First custom school, he been successful. So lo ting ting lo mi lo end lo custom school. Every time he host one something, he come, he must be successful lo end. So all mama oli klat, all pigni oli klat, community klat, nakamal to hemi klat lo one name mi been host them. And only like him too much mo only want them say no I want something where he must stop go ahead no why no must stop hatlel pet plo chusum who pa hemi next host hemi hatlel pet full up feel waka holipin kam full up mama holipin kam full up important woman holipin kam full up chief holipin kam and then holipin look how custom school I been success mo one is me by me host them, one is me by me host them, and then me ko staff lo organizing committee or chairman lo Sakrao Custom School lo area plo yeto kay plo hem now hemi only cost town with them committee blame secretly and then by come give him stick fire lo whoever. So me to me no sabe se who me sek no mo chairman or main man behind lo organizing committee hemi wapati ko hemi hanta mo vai ko lo antinumalin plo White Sand. So next host hemi White Sands.
Meto meto wai meto 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 wai meto meto wai meto hai rukendau marching oreganio wai meto meto wai meto 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 wai meto meto wai meto hai rukendau marching oreganio meto meto wai meto 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 wai meto meto wai meto hai rukendau marching oreganio wai meto meto wai meto 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 wai meto meto wai meto